How is it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer Entertainment Arc episode review recap. Of course, this is the season of the entertainment arc, so this is episode 6, known as Layered Memories. And oh man, I'm torn, y'all. I'm torn because I love doing my recaps, going through and talking to you about what happened and going into detail. And in those details, I do more details. But hell, I just kind of want to get to the fight. But it's this episode, this series. But before I get into any of that, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Especially if you're new here. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers. If you're not new here, please hit that notification bell to get notified of more videos like this. Little insert that I got to do real quick. This show, this season, is only going to get 11 episodes, which is perfect. You know why? Because Ufotable does a lot of work. And you know what? I'm sorry. It's high time that a lot of these animation studios slow the hell down. Remember what happened to the guy that made Berserk. We do not need more stuff like this. And as a matter of fact, this manga is already done with. And yeah, it says spoiler right here. So I'm spoiling what happens in this episode. But I'm gonna spoil a little bit of a tiny bit of mystery. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Even without me having to look that stuff up, I kind of already knew based on season 1 of Kimetsu no Yaiba some of the stuff I know. So whenever I get to spoiler things, I'll lift up my left hand so you'll know. But let's just get right into it. We're squaring off. It's Tanjiro versus Daki. They're squaring off. They're fighting, and she's moving faster than he can. He's able to do the Hinokami Kagura stuff, in succession rapidly. He has to do that breathing recovery. He has grown as a character. I have some notes here too about the type of characters I like, and I gotta say this later because we're getting some heavy foreshadowing. Also, when the manga was over, people spoiled a lot of shit. So yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah. But anyway, oops. I got rid of my notes, guys. Here. Okay, so Tanjiro has now wondered if Inosuke's with Uzui, right? Because now, while they're fighting, all of a sudden her other claws come into her. So, and when they come into her, I love the. It's something that you rarely see, I guess, in animation sometimes, unless they do good details. Actually, it's the only place you can see it. Because as her claws are coming into her, she's kind of jostling and moving. And he's like, okay, they're coming. She's absorbing them. No, they're coming back into her. And she says she knew there was a Hashira there. And, her skin turns even more white. Her hair is white and green. And she's getting powered up. It's like she is transforming, right? And Tanjiro's like, okay, so Inosuke must be with Uzui, because in order for her to, she knew it. Now, all of a sudden, their fight, because they were fighting across rooftops and he was doing all this cool shit. Obviously, and I said this last review, where are the people? It has jostled and awoken some people. There's some people looking out of windows. There's some people kind of peeking their heads out of doors. And one guy comes through and he's like, why are you causing all this noise? You're not even supposed to have a sword here. And Tanjiro's like, shit, this guy's coming out. And instantly, this is the type of bitchy character she is. She gets annoyed. She's pissed. And Tanjiro legitimately jumps in front of this guy and says, get away. Don't come any closer. She does this amazing angular attack. And I say angular because it's all sorts of angles. And the crazy thing about this animation, Ufotable. Oh, man. Ufotable did Heaven's Feel and Unlimited Blade Works for the Fate Go stuff. You need to watch that because this is the level of animation in this. Just the how do I put, it's like a negative photo, but then you see the pink dashes of her attacks. Bruh, she cut through Tanjiro. She cut off the dude's arm that he was in front of, and she cut into all the buildings behind him. There are so many people dead now. You see one woman we see and hear one woman in particular who is crying for Hiro-san. I guess that's her husband or her boyfriend or what. She's crying because this dude's dead. One woman is crushed under stuff. There's crying and death and destruction and everything else. And in my mind, I'm going, where the fuck is Nezuko? Where is Nezuko at? So she basically destroys this block, and Tanjiro's in front of this guy, and I love the fact that this is the second time that we can see that Tanjiro's demeanor reassures people. Remember the guy who had lost his fiance, and he's saying, what do you know about what's going on? You can hear in his voice. He's telling him, "Stay calm. You'll survive. Put pressure on that arm that you just lost." Doesn't have to look to know he lost the arm, and the guy's looking up at him because he's on the ground and sees blood splattering down. And the guy turns around, it's like, "Everybody get back in your houses. Do not come out here." And Tanjiro's like, "You're not going to walk away from this." And she basically says, "Dude, you can't even move. It's enough. Ugly people should all just die together and rot together." And Tanjiro hears the woman that's crying for her husband. His eyes become bloodshot. We see that mark on his head, and we see blood literally pooling into his eyes. And the silent rage and fury is coming and is dwelling within inside of him from her words. And then we hear, I keep calling him Rengoku, but Rengoku's the family name. Kyojiro. Kyojiro, the one that we call Rengoku, we hear his father, Shinjiro. He's writing he has written to Tanjiro within this time period. And he apologizes for how they first met. He's saying, "I thank you for shedding tears over my son's death. I hear you've been sending letters back and forth with Shinjiro, and he looks like he's doing way better. Ever since my wife died, I spiraled. I became a drunkard. I wallowed in depression and everything else. But my son was a much better man, a much better son than I was. And he openly calls himself a fool. He says to him, I'm kind of backing up my notes. He says to him, Tanjiro, you know, even after his father stopped training him, he used the three volumes from the Flame Hashira to train himself, become a Hashira, and move forward. He's like, yeah, apparently both of his sons have more of his wife's blood. Her name was Ruka. Luca Ruka has more Ruka's blood in them than he does. But he says, by the way, you have an amazing power as well. You have the ability of sun breathing, which I already touched on last time. It's pretty easy to know that it was sun breathing because it's like a flame god. But anyway, he says the people who have the same mark on your forehead have that ability. And he's very sure that he has that same move. And Tanjiro, thinking, he's like, no, Shinjiro-san, I got this mark, and we do get to see the flashback. He got that mark from saving his little brother from a falling brazier. Uh, I don't really have enough time to go into exactly what a brazier is, but a lot of boiling water, a lot of boiling oil. He got that heavy, heavy burn on his face. And he said he also got hurt further during the final selection battle. So the mark on his head is not a birthmark. And on top of that, his father actually had a faint birthmark on his head, though. And he says, whether or not I'm chosen or not, because he's like, I'm not chosen by this, but it doesn't matter. He snapped. He says, I'm not going to back down because he says, there are beings and people in this world who lack human hearts, killing for no reason, without a second thought and without a hint of remorse. And I will not allow that kind of tyranny. This man is so fast now. When she tries to leap and run off to find Uzui, he grabs her leg and pulls her in. Is about to cut her. He rips her leg clean off. A feat we have not seen from Tanjiro yet. Now, I'm not going to spoil this part. I'm just going to tell you, there are other levels to Demon Slayers. Like, there's a more, just like the demons can power up, there's a little bit more to our little Demon Slayer friends there. Those who have read the manga know exactly what I'm talking about. And he's making a speech to her. Now, this is one of I see myself in characters like Tanjiro because when this guy gets angry, he's speaking, even internally, he is much more calmer than what he was before. And he says, so, why do you do these things to humans why do you spill human blood and do the things that when humans can't do what demons can do? Why would do you rob them of their lives? Why do you, take their lives? And she's saying she's heard those words before. She has a memory in her head of a man that kind of looks like Tanjiro's dad, but we know it's. This is the little spoilery part, guys. You can figure out here that if Tanjiro learned the Hinokami Kagura from his dad doing the flame dance, it's very obvious that his father has connections to demon slayers. It's very obvious that that person is a descendant, sorry, an ancestor of Tanjiro, who apparently, I'm believing this guy was the one. It has to have been the first demon slayer because she knows that that's not a memory of hers. That's a memory of Muzan. She has so much of Muzan's blood inside of her. That's not. There you go. Spoiler over. Enough of Muzan's blood inside of her that she knows that that is not her memory, that that is his memory, and is making her tremble because he has come in contact with a person who has said those exact same words. Meanwhile, Muscle Mice, hey, and Inosuke's like, yo, the belt worm ran away, and we get a funny moment from Tengen who goes, you need to shut up. I saved all these people. Everyone's lives are saved. You know what? You need to first worship me and praise me. And Makio and Sumiya both say, hey, just go after the thing because it's going to cause more trouble. Don't worry about us. We'll take care of things here. And since the wife said it's okay, he's going to do it. He grabs both Inosuke and the sleeping Zenitsu, bust out of the hole, and now they're running. He's running fast. How the hell is Zenitsu running in his sleep? I don't get it. I don't get his ability. It's I can't call it dumb because it's interesting. It's interesting as all hell, right? But they're running. And yeah, they're gonna get there. Dude's uber fast. I think he might actually be faster than Kyujiro Rengoku, right? But you know, Tanjiro is now talking to Daki and asks her, what is it? She's, he wants to ask a question. She's like, what is it? He says, you were once human. You shed tears. You had suffering. And she gets pissed. She punches the tiled ceiling that she's on. And she's telling me to be she doesn't remember anything about her past, which is an obvious lie because we get flashes of a weak girl, in a kimono laying against the ground. We see a dead adult. We see layers of dead people. She's saying, demons don't get sick. They don't need food. They don't need money. They can just, they don't die. They have nothing to lose. Not to mention they are beautiful and powerful. It can do whatever they want. And at that point, Tanjiro's done. He's like, fine, that's enough. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to hear. Moves in a flash. I'm talking about when I say Rengoku now, I'm talking about the Hashira, the guy who died in Mugen Train. He's moving that fast. He's moving so fast that she does her demon art. It's called 8-layer Obi Slash. So all of her cloths are coming down, and then they're gonna turn to the blade end. And she's like, hey, there's no way you're gonna escape this. You're gonna lose a limb. You're gonna get cut. You're already cut already. So there's nothing you can do. Oh, wait a minute. This dude does Hinokami Kagura, burning bones and summer sun, where he didn't even spin. He just a cut, and the circular flames blast all of this. Now, his cuts and the flames are burning and hurting her. Remember, I told you earlier, his eyes have blood in them. Now, I'm not saying bloodshot. They're blood filled up. He is in some type of a rage state. And she, for some reason, her claws can't reach in, and she's even noting that he's making violent moves, and she's wondering how is he able to slice her belt now, and it's making her tremble, it's making her fingertips tremble. But then she realized, no, it's Muzan's memories. It's all of him fucking her up on the inside. Pardon my language. Tanjiro is cutting through so fast and so quickly, he gets to her neck. And he's about to cut it, but then she does the same thing she did with Inosuke and makes the cloth is too soft for him to cut. And he even says in mind, like, all right, it's too soft for me to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it a different way. She's on the offensive now, and she's using all her belts. And there's too many belts to the fact that he says if I dodge these, it's going to cause too much havoc and too much destruction. So they come to a singular point. He takes them and pins them to the ground. Now, and I love I love the fights in this show so much because here's the thing that you don't get, and I'm sorry I'm gonna blaspheme and talk shit about Dragon Ball. I got Gogeta in the corner. I'm sorry, Gogeta. I gotta say this. One of the things that we rarely, if we ever get it all in Dragon Ball, is what goes on in the mind of the fighters, what goes in the mind of the combatants, which I'm glad that anime and manga have evolved past that. Actually, Rurouni Kenshin, which I'm looking at my mangas right there, it's a thing that's actually happened, but we have grown and evolved so much now in this art and in this entertainment that you don't realize, guys, these fights aren't taking hours. A lot of these fights are taking minutes. Now, in Demon Slayer, because they go from dusk till dawn, which is was if just like 6 and 9, it's a 12-hour period. So sometimes you got to find the opponent, then you're gonna fight for a while, and there's a lot of running. But there is an active passage of time. The fact that they are having this moment to think about their moves that they're doing is amazing. It's really good writing, and it's not even like fluff writing. Yeah, it's exposition, but it's the type of exposition that gets your blood pumping. Where she's saying, "Yeah, you pinned them all down." She's pulling her cloths taut, right? She's like, "The moment you let go, I'm just gonna cut you. There's no way you're gonna be fast enough to." This man pulled up and is cutting at each bend of these freaking cloths. It's all flame strikes, y'all. It's all sun breathing flame strikes, and just that mark on his head seems to be a little bit more prominent, right? And what he says is, he says it's simple. In his mind, he's saying it's simple. I just have to cut them before they ever bend. And he has to bring his sword down faster. And the crazy thing is, while she's doing that multi attack before he pins it, he says for some reason they seem so slow now. He's so focused in the zone, he doesn't even realize that he's pushing himself beyond his limits. This is why we like anime, people. Not just because of fights, not just because of busty women, not just because of fan service. It's about people having to have a goal and pushing themselves past that limit. At least that's why I love it. So he's about to cut her head off, but then all of a sudden he sees his little sister says, "Breathe, big brother. You need to breathe." And he's just he stops short of being able to cut her. The flames on his blade dissipate, and guys, the flames from the sun breathing are completely different from the flame Hashira breathes. It's completely different. It's a deeper, darker color and a deeper, darker blaze. It's actually even more stylized than their flames. So he's falling down to the ground, and he's about to pass out. Daki's talking all sorts of shit to him, like, yeah, of course you can't even recover from those wounds. Sooner or later, this was gonna happen, right? Well, I'm gonna repay the favor if you're trying to cut my head off, and I'm gonna cut your head off. And like clockwork, I asked the question, where was Nesco? Oh, Nesco's over here kicking the shit out of her head. Literally kicks half of her head off. The sickening sound of the meat just crunching. It's just, chef's kiss is so good. And she's like, you're the one that Master Muzan was talking about. And we get this little flashback of her being pampered by her head in his lap. This is the only demon of his that he has ever shown this level of affection to, funny enough. And she's saying, he tells her, by the way, there's a demon that escaped my clutches, much like Tamayo. He describes Nezuko to a T. Her ivy colors, her hair, and all that. And she's like, okay, you're the one. He's like, it's fine for you to kill her. Nezuko's growling deeply. Because in Nezuko's mind, Nezuko was there when she hurt and killed all those people. She saw what happened to the children, what happened to the women and the husbands and everything. And so she's pissed. She is growling and grumbling, and she goes in for a kick. Nezuko does the kick. She's like, so that's all you know how to do. Cuts off her leg. So, so yeah, so she cuts off her arm, cuts off her leg. She actually bisects her, literally cuts her in half, and she falls into another building. And she's saying, "Oh, I can tell you're super weak. You haven't even eaten any humans. I'm not gonna bully you. We're both demons here, and it doesn't really make any sense for two demons to fight, right? So I'll just absorb you into my cloth, and when the morning sun hits, I'll let you die that way." Little does this arrogant bitch know, Nezuko stands. She's like, "Wait a minute. How do you have a leg? How are you even standing?" Her leg is Nezuko pulls a Piccolo, shows that stump. Pew, the arm comes right out. Nezuko is so enraged that she bites through that bamboo muzzle, and it's on the ground. Nezuko's form has now grown, and when I mean grown, I mean grown. Nezuko is now busty. Nezuko has a massive, if I'm thinking of a massive horn coming out of the right side of her head. Her hair is even longer now. She is full ass adult, and her rapid healing. Daki says she has upper rank healing. Nezuko is just to the moon, to the moon. That's how strong she is. To the moon. So, and in addition to the horn and the bustiness, she has these ivies, these ivy marks that are growing on her. Remember, every demon we have seen that of some rank, whether it's the lower rank or upper ranks, they have markings. Her markings, as you can see, are up here, right here. They're like a flowery pattern. And actually, before I thought those were just makeup on her eyes right there. No, it's not makeup. That's I think that's part of her markings. It goes with her style and everything, right? But yeah, she has ivies and stuff markings on her. She is Nezuko is legitimately an upper rank demon fighting now. And Daki saying, "What is this air of cruelty that it's so intimidating now?" And then Tanjiro, who's still laying face down on that tiled ceiling, hears his little brother, not the littlest brother, but the other little brother, hears him say, you know, "You got to get up. You and big sister need to look out for one another. You know, you guys are gentle, but you're scary when you're mad." Back, and he tells him, remember when he calls her Onei-chan, right? When big sister had got in the face of a grown man who had bumped into a child, and he's like, "It's a good thing there were other adults there," but she did not back down from that guy. And he said, and the little brother, and this is in the snow. The little brother's talking to him in the snow. You know, people who get mad at others, who are, how do I express this better? He's saying that people who are in the defense of others, who get mad at the cruelty that is done to others, they tend to have no regard for their own safety. And I feel, oh my goodness, that hit hard. That hit hard on so many personal levels. Jesus, and because of that, they might lose something precious someday. So he's telling him, that he tells him that scares him. So you guys need to work together. It's a hint, guys, and this is what's crazy. Nezuko goes in. She's fast. She is a Casca fast. She is fast as hell. And she's going in with her patented kicks. And of course, Daki's talking shit, going, "Is all you know how to? Are you just a one-trick pony, and all you know how to do is do the kicks?" Daki is cutting her limbs off, but Nezuko's limbs are growing back so fast that even though she cuts off the kick, the leg grows back in enough time for her to continue smashing her right into the ground with a kick in her spine. Just has Daki laid out like she's Yamcha. And yeah, this is where we're ending. We're ending on Nezuko looking down at her, that good moonlight scene, and man, first of all, I gotta commend whoever comes up with how they do the opening and ending songs, whoever you are, I'm clapping for you because you do a great job. The tone that the ending theme has taken throughout this entire entertainment arc, it's been beautiful and it's been perfect. My God. Before I get into anything further, let's go into the Nin Nin. The boys are running. And Inosuke's like, how are you running asleep? Can you even see? He opens up his eyes, and of course, his pupils they don't dilate, they retract. He's like, man, it must be really cool to be you. And again, they're running, and Inosuke's like, where's the god of festivals? Uzui was like, you guys are taking too long. You're too slow. As a matter of fact, you've taken so long. We have no time for a Taisho secret. Next episode is called Transformation. It's episode 7, and that's it. So it's already been revealed. There's only 11 episodes for this arc in particular, and I already told you earlier on before I reviewed this. That's a good thing. It means we don't need any filler. It means we don't have to do anything silly. There's not going to be any, Tanjiro and Nezuko learn how to drive arcs. Although that was pretty funny in Dragon Ball. We don't need any of that. It's not going to be any of that Naruto crap where we're fighting other demons that don't actually exist. We don't need any of that. You take your time. You do it arc by arc. And that's all you need. And I'm thankful for that. Let these animators and producers and everyone who gives their heart and soul into this stuff, let them take their time. Holy hell, that was great, guys. It's kind of weird. I remember I did for the first season, top 5 fights. I don't know how I can do top 5 fights for any of this. Like, how can I do top 5 fights for Mugen Train plus Entertainment Arc when this fight is pretty damn cool? Just seeing Nezuko by herself whoop ass, showing her own power without I don't need to eat people. I'm strong already. We got a deep bloodline. And I want to make a quick connection. So, 3 of my favorite characters, if you guys already know me, I like Gohan, love Tanjiro, and I love Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku. And I realized something. I'm not a big fan of Superman, but all 3 of these guys give me Superman vibes. They hate bullies. They hate seeing people get preyed upon. And it's very easy for these very gentle characters to snap. We're seeing Tanjiro snap, and we're seeing what's happening with him. I need to catch up with my hero, even though some stuff has been spoiled for me. That's just how it goes. I'm waiting to see when Midoriya snaps. This is frankly quite amazing to me. I'm looking forward to next episode. Every episode seems better than the last. The fight scenes in this one, top notch. I know I said last episode was better than the episode before that, because it was, and this one's better than the last one. No rating because this is one of my favorite fight scenes ever. Matter of fact, if I could string together episodes 6, 5, and 4 for all their fight scenes together, this would go in my top 10 favorite fight scenes of anime. That's just how it is. Please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. I so graciously love hearing from you guys, especially you guys that love the sword fighting animes and the sword fighting mangas. I really do want to hear your opinion on it. And as always, give me a like. The likes help other people see the videos. I deeply appreciate you guys taking some time out to watch the videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. If you're not new here, hit that notification bell to be notified for more videos like this. We're going to do these every Sunday until this is over. And then I'm going to find something else to give you guys until we get back to this, right? Share the video so others can see what a great time we're having. As always, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. It's getting crazy out there. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. And I will most definitely see you guys next time. Damn, that was a good fight.